Hi, this is Guinden, and we are doing part 2 of the Curse of Rigel. So this is the full walkthrough of the main content and also an additional legendary battle. Also, the last part of the arena battle just to unlock that last specialty for the Tomater, just to showcase a little bit. This is going to be a quicker walkthrough of the actual content, so you're going to see a little bit of the battles, but not all of it. And certainly not all the werewolf packs that you have to fight on the way. And there's a lot of them. As I added this all together, I realized that there were so many werewolf pack battles, because since you have to destroy them all, and they don't have a moral breakpoint, it gets long and tedious. And I've said so before. I don't have to say it again, but I will. So this is it. The next stuff that I'm working on is going to be Star Rupture, as far as you can unlock it until you go into the actual world engine. Also Blightstone. That just got released and sidetracked me a little bit. And then finally, some actual store content for Wartales starting fresh. So that one is going to be level locked. It's a lot easier to make good content with that, because again, if you do adaptive, it gets really wonky with sizes of units as everything just explodes, and that makes the battles a little bit more tedious. If you are going to do like a story mode with story characters and all that, yeah, you don't want to have the battles continue forever. There's plenty of random battles in Wartales that occurs all the time. Okay, so there I'm going to have to be a little bit more focused on some of the main content, and to make a good story out of it, it's just going to have to be level locked. That's just the way it is. But anyway, that's for later. Now, let's check out the actual DLC. The easiest way to get here is that you start from this main city in Drombach. You just go over the bridge here. You go down here. This is where you have the elite, and you can go up here, and this is where you can find, as long as you have some grenades, you can then go and get that sword that my main character have, the captain. And then of course you can go down here and just go yourself over here. I am not going to complete any of the Drombach. Sure, if you want to check out and see what that is all about, you can certainly find a lot of different videos on it. We're just going to focus here on getting to Rigel. Don't wanna fight you. Don't wanna fight you. Oh, I didn't even have to. That's weird. Normally you have to stop there and get a border pass or something, but I guess.
Don't listen to the rumors of all those monsters about.
I guess no cost.
I was the best patrolman. Those cowards in the capital sent me out here to freeze to death.
Did the guards tell you about the monsters? Seems they come out of the wild at night, and some of them are even venturing onto farms and devouring entire families. Oh, I want to turn back.
So direct after you get inside the new region, there should be a house up here called the Edelweiss Inn. All you have to do is just talk to the different people there, and of course take their belongings. That's the right way to do things. And then, as you step outside, you will be approached by these knights, and they're a little bit concerned and pissed. And the reason is,
the townspeople say they heard
the people there have been bit by werewolves, so obviously, all the people you helped and robbed, they're gonna come after you. Now, I'm not going to show you the entire fight. If you remember from part 1, I showed you some of the tediousness with this werewolves fight. But it's just standard fare. You're going to have to kill them all. And when you're done with that, the knight is going to be super happy that you helped him out.
Thanks and the reward that
And then it gives you another mission.
Knights were simply doing their duty by defending our good people from those monsters. Our scholars call them lycanthropes. Their ability to return to when His Majesty tasked our order with exterminating those creatures. I'm giving you this advice because your men look experienced and brave. Excellent. In that case, I'll assign you a mission that we don't feel. Deliver this to the head surgeon waiting in our camp. But be quick about it. Patience isn't one of his virtues. If he had.
And to pick up the first clue, he tells you where to go next on a map. Now there is a small town nearby. It's not going to be the main town. That's the one where you can set up a trade shop, but it's going to be close to the actual castle. But this is where you're looking for. This is some kind of camp, and where you have a researcher that's going to give you the lab eventually that you need to build in order to unlock stuff with.
What have you got there?
And that's this dude.
From Captain Oswald? Well, don't you stand there. Is that all? What do you expect me to... This country is driving me mad. I don't care that you never went to university. I'm officially appointing you... Off with you then. My research can't wait.
Now what you're going to go is to this, I think it is a lumber camp. Naturally, you should talk to everybody else that's in that camp. But the next stop is going to be this lumber camp in order to find out what's going on with the people that are getting killed. Which is right there. And when you're done talking to everybody there, you can chop some wood and end up going looking for a cave where the werewolves are going to hide around it. Now there should be some traces that you can find, those blood traces that will take you through this forest, which is not one of those spooky forests where you need the lantern. And then it's going to take you up in a corner where you, or down in the corner where you're going to find a cave. Now be aware of one thing here. If you're running on adaptive and you have a semi-large team, then you can sometimes have more men than a cave or the map can handle. I mentioned this earlier. So that's one of the downside with adaptive, is that the characters that you will like for something like that, they might actually not be part of the fight, which happened to me with A thaumaturg that had the best equipment and skills, he was not present for the actual fight. So that's going to be a group of werewolf, and the same apply. You're going to have to kill them all. Now once you're done, it's just a matter of picking them clean. Some are for clues and materials that you need in order to impress the professor or whatever he
I
is.
see no difference between the
And
way
then of
mine
course
go
the
back
knight
deliver these
comes
graphs
and
to-
shows up afterwards, having not helped you the entire time. Yeah, that's how it can be. And of course, never hesitate in mining if there are any ore nearby, because if you have a good miner, you can get some gemstones. Now the next step is, of course, to wiggle around like a drunkard looking for material on your way back to the camp. So you can report back to the professor, so he can be astonished, first, how meager it is that you
Have you brought back
found
the graphs
material,
I asked for?
and then,
Oh,
you know,
come
talk about how you need to move
Even
forward
a
in
harangue
order to
barber would've
investigate
done a
what's
bit
going on.
better. No matter. Captain Oswald was...
And then you can talk to everybody there, because at some point you're going to get the field laboratory here, and then you'll also need lantern oil
Yes.
in order to fuel the lantern.
Oh, the
And then
beast.
all you have to talk is with
No, I
the
mustn't give
blacksmith
up.
to get the
What?
lantern.
I'm
So
counting
those
on
are the
you,
things that you
dear
need.
assistant.
I thought you were about to leave without your lantern. I took the liberty of adding a few doses of lantern oil.
Your connection with the head surgeon is really...
So here you are. You are on your way out to walk into the scary forest, which is just nearby. Now, there is a party of people that you can bring with you, so that's just going to be up front here. They're not a major part of the actual the plot itself. And here I am looking up some, you know, I figured out maybe there is some kind of ferocious animal that you can get here, but in all honesty, it's just either wolves or bears. So, not worth it. Or pigs, of course. Did mention there are a couple of guys up here that you can escort. I do believe they give you some kind of price. It's not part of the main plot. And I do believe you run into them later on. But as far as I can tell, whether you do it or not, there's nothing special about it. Now inside the forest, you will find these mushrooms. You need those. You definitely want to pick them up. You will get plenty of 2 ingredients from the werewolves, and you're going to have to fight plenty of them. But there are 2 things on the ground that you can pick up. One, when you have the lantern on, or you can actually turn the lantern off if you want to. That is those glowing mushrooms. And then you also have some worms. Those you can only pick up when you have the lantern off. And of course, there are plenty of werewolf that will attack you throughout the entire journey inside the woods. When you come out on the other side, you're going to have the stables. This is one of those mini quests you don't have to do. You can also go right here, and I do believe that's where you find... Is it the Brotherhood, or is it the Arena? I don't remember exactly. We'll get to that point. But in the stable, you talk to the people, and you come to find out that they took their horses. I do believe there's 3 of them that are spread out around the different areas in the forest. And if you find them, they will pay you 100 crowns to return them. And then all you have to do is go over this bridge, and up to the north here will be the main city. That's the main city that will have all the goodies, including a trade post that you can build out. And of course the usual where you can get all the special quests that's part of the quest line. And everything else that you can consider finding there. And here are the guys that, after walk through that forest with you, they decide to say bye-bye and drop off here. And here's the trade post. Now you can take any other quest as part of the mainline quests in any order. We're going to jump in right here in one where there's this place on a hill. They are being attacked by marauding werewolves. And you're going to have to stay the night and fight them off for a certain number of turns. Now this is probably very similar to something like the Cursed Village, where you stand in this place and they keep busting in. Now, as you notice, these are then divided into a number of different rooms, so it's not quite the same. And then we'll go on for, I don't remember exactly how many turns. I think it's 5 of them or something like that. But they will start breaking through the roof, in from the windows, and it's just a matter of eliminating them as quickly as possible, or else they're gonna start doing damage to you. And that's pretty much standard fare. And when you're done fighting them, just talk to the lady again, and she will be super happy that you fought them off.
We're leaving. I'll never cut another twig as long as I...
And apparently she doesn't want to stick around, so you can rob the place blind as you see fit. And here are the other two, and it's just a matter of walking into the forest again in order to find them. Something you will notice is that the lantern requires a lot more fuel in the very beginning, and it also burns out a lot quicker. And the only thing you can do is just do your due research at the lab, so you can continue unlocking new recipes that has to do with the lantern itself, as far as how bright it shines, but also different fuels that burns and works a lot longer. Now I have a tendency of putting down ropes whenever I'm on a hill, because you never know when you're gonna need get up on that hill from a different side. And that is particularly effective when you talk about this forest. You get extremely disoriented, as you can see. You're not entirely sure where you are, and until you have researched it, you will not be able to actually unlock where you are on a map. It's going to be all fog of war until you unlock that piece, and then it's going to start showing unlocked areas on your map. So if I would switch back to the map, it would just be black mass. That's why even if you put down a location marker for where you want to go, you can pretty much just go by it. As you can see right here, there are these hills a little bit in places. Some of them actually have part of the quest line, and others have nothing.
I don't care what the King's Knights say. My fiancé isn't. Nothing will stop me from saying, please join the search mercenaries.
And this, I think, is Siebert.
Have gone on ahead. Just
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I can say this.
Between the
He turns out to be a guy that you can recruit at some point. Or, of course, if you don't want to recruit him, you certainly don't have to. And he has a dark secret. Now, he will take you to these 3 spots. I investigated one. These are the 2 spots where you're going to find a couple of victims. And then once you have done that and probably had to fight a couple of more battles with werewolves, he's going to take you to, I do believe we call this Crystal Spring or something like that, where you're going to have the final. Now, there is the worm. So you have to turn off your lantern, pick up the worm, and then of course you can turn it on again.
That's Rosalind's. Shove over. Oh, yes. I recognize. Trust me, mercenaries. I've got a lead here.
And so you finally have the last clue. In this case, you're going to have to follow this, what looks like a perfume trail, or I'm guessing some odor of some kind. And that will take you to the hideout of the bad guys. It's hard to tell because Siebert is not what you think he is.
It looks like our meal has arrived. Sispert? How did you find us? We crossed the river twice. You should have lost our trail.
Did you really think one puny river would stop me? I didn't My prey and my territory belong to me. I forbade you to hunt here.
Damn it, Sispert! What will it take for you to understand that?
I'm not part of the pack. I don't follow your rules. And I don't mercenaries. You can't let this poor woman's murder go on.
So, yes, Siebert is a werewolf. Supposedly a good werewolf. Yeah, he wanted that lady for himself. I get the idea that he wanted to eat her himself and was kind of mad that these guys decided to invade his territory and kill her instead of him getting her, or something like that. Yeah, if you look at the moral things, you probably would afterwards take care of him too. And you can. Or it can be your first werewolf character, unless you want to infect yourself.
Well then, I suppose I can stop playing. Thank you for helping me avenge Rosalind's death. Not being able to devour her, I can't imagine how difficult it is for me to mimic my old human habits. Anyway,
Yeah.
now that that's taken care of, I
Thank
can
you
go
for
back
helping
to
him
Osborne.
get rid of those. Because,
I why should we
he
fight?
wanted to devour
Haven't I
her
proven that
himself.
I will? If you're so worried about Hosberg's safety, maybe we could team up. I refuse to be
I made a wonderful moral choice of hiring and recruit a werewolf dude. Yeah. And now for the third one. I do believe that's going to be the bandit camp. It's up here in the corner. And yes, I always have to pick stuff up because that's just the way it is. Now, I am wrong. This is not a bandit camp. This is the bandits. It's going to show up when you get close to a prison. Because there's a guy in the prison that they're trying to get to. One of their guys are missing. And apparently that dude knows, his name is Igor, what's going on.
Strange. No! Let me be! I don't want to go with you! I don't want to disappear like the others! Oh, Saint Elior. That's better. Rafi? Did his accomplices send you? The beast devour me. Of course I know what happened to him. Get me out of here and I'll tell them everything.
I hope you haven't come here empty-handed, mercenaries. The Count insists that the prison always be full of outlaws. Raffi, I don't know.
Who's that then? If he told you he's Raffi, then you've been had, mercenaries. Oh, he knows what's happened to him. Well, your Raffi didn't stay in the prison long. Not long at all. Once the man had examined him, he chose him and took him away. He wasn't the first. In the 3 months I've been rotting in this cage, that son of a crockswine has cleared out the whole prison. Men, women, thieves. Bloody hell. I don't know what he's planning to do with them all, but I'll wager it's not a tea party. I didn't pay. Are you sure he wasn't an executioner? How am I supposed to know? He wore a cape that hid his face and his clothes. What could that man be doing with his prison? I'm dying to ask him myself. Aren't you, mercenaries? Let's start by searching the taverns.
So after talking to him, there's also a small little village or inn here where you can talk to one of the ladies, and she will let you know that if you beat the champion in the arena, she could teach you a alternative thing for your thaumaturg. So that is how you get the final and fifth option that you have as a thaumaturg. Now in the same area, they're gonna be this small town called Alor. You also have the larger castle. There's a hunter's camp, and
I'm not in the habit of healing strangers.
some other areas.
Tell
Now
me
this
what you
Valor
want,
happen
and
to
go
be
away.
a city that's gonna be your final destination eventually. You will find an inn. You will find a blacksmith, and of course this guy. And all of them are extremely rude and just want you to leave right away. And the reason why is because this is the werewolf town. And until you find Igor and all that and figure out the rest of what's going on, you won't confront these people until the very end. But you can always go in there, get some stuff, and you realize they all have raw meat. And they're acting really sus and weird. Now comes the fun. You're going to hunt down where Igor is. So you will start from the very north of the map, work yourself down to each individual place that you can see on the map. Look in every nook and cranny until you actually find him. Now on your way down, you can always visit the arena. This is the end fight against the guy with the sensor. And once you defeat him, you're going to get probably the best sensor. Now the other one that you can find by robbing a tomb is not bad. That's the one that provides support. This is the one that provides some healing. Both of them are really good. But that is the legendary one that you can get. Now, I am using a combination of my captain and some other hard hitting, and of course my pugilist that could really do some damage. And my thaumaturg that can heal, because it's always good to have healing. Now, my my pugilist, he is pretty beastly. It's even better when he has the brave skill, because then this can happen. And I'm just moving them into place here. Sometimes when you have a lot of skills, they end up in the second row. And there you go. I just used my brave skill and pummel him to pieces. And the legendary sensor is mine. Now that one is located here. Not too far away from the main city, I do believe, closer to the stable. And it should be a fairly easy romp from there to the next location where you need to find Igor.
Go away. Why? Who are you?
And that was it. Now the bandits will show up.
Step back, rogues. What do you want with this man? Why are you a
King's knights.
And of course,
But what
I do believe
questions
knights are showing
precisely?
up too.
Why?
Eh?
So, yeah, it's going to turn into
Why,
battle.
Beast fags. You knew. You're his accomplices. The Count's soldiers are in on this. Wait. I'll ask you one
Now,
last time.
Mr.
I'm
Bandit
telling
Man
you,
wants you to capture at
why
least
would I
one
question-
of the night soldiers so they can interrogate them.
That drunkard preferred taking his own life rather. I'd like to trade you for your prisoners, so I can question them at my leisure. Would you be willing to hand them over to me in exchange
that you
for
really have a
this?
choice.
I like the way you think, mercenaries. The rest.
So it turns out there's a certain someone that has been causing all this werewolf activity, which happened to be, I think it's a count. The one that is in charge of the entire area. He's been doing some experimenting. Now, at some point, you will talk to the hunters,
It's
and
a
they
sucker's
want you to
even
go
worse
to
than
this
I thought. You
Thule
want to save the
camp or
people of
Thule
this
Rock,
godless-
where they are going to try to set you up to get killed. But apparently you managed to
Get back,
figure out
mercenaries.
that something
Step
is
away
going
from
on
me
there.
like an-
Someone has been
How
fouling the
dare
beast and
you accuse us
killing
of
and
being
sacrificing
lycanthropes?
stuff.
Our people.
And
Admit it.
yeah,
You wanted to get rid of the head surgeons in the name of His Majesty.
Mercenaries, this is ridiculous.
I invite you to fight by our side, mercenaries. You must be.
so now you
dying
have to
get
choose
revenge on the
again
men who tried to
between
trap
fighting
you.
the knights or fighting with the hunters. I don't know why I choose the hunters. It really doesn't matter. There's a slightly different story, but I'll be honest with you. There's no moral system in place. It doesn't really matter who you kill. Many times there might be slight difference in equipment, and many times they're pretty much the same equipment. But yeah, I choose to be with a hunter because it just felt like how my troop would react, taking the little guys over the large guys. And as you can see, it's running pretty rough because there's a lot of troops on each side.
Oh, damn it. Those cursed knights. I thought for sure you'd turn on us, mercenaries. I swear to you, our intentions were and you will. Once we those heathens must have left some
And the
trace.
next step here is to find the tracks on the ground here and follow them back to the main town. Now these tracks gonna take you out of the forest itself, and of course you're probably gonna run into some stuff on the way, and then you will go back to the main town where there's this this graveyard they want to check out. There is also this witch here. You have to give her a gemstone in order for her to allow you to buy stuff from her, but
The
she does
wheel
have a
speaks
couple
to
of
those
unique
who listen.
recipes.
And it's got.
And there is the main town. And all you have to do is just go into the graveyard right away. Unless, of course, there is some other stuff that you need to do before that, such as saving and whatnot. And there are the tracks. Those are the cart tracks that you're following into the crypt itself. Now, if you go into that graveyard earlier, you will see that there is a
What are we doing here, mercenaries? Where is it anyway?
there is this big gate there, but you have to have a special key in order to open it. And that's the ebony key that you get from Igor. And then, of course, there are more keys so you can get into the actual castle. Now, this will take
all the
you
tools.
under,
So,
through a
you
tunnel
found the
that
tools
goes
protect
into
us.
the castle
I've got a
itself.
bad feeling about this.
Unlike, you know, so you don't have to walk all the way around, because this is probably the only way you can get in there. And you will see some gruesome stuff things that you can take. And the bandage friend is going to be the guy in the corner, I believe.
Well, it's a. I hope you have what I.
And here he is.
Intruders.
The guy that created the Werewolf Scourge. And now you're going to have to fight the guards in order to, you know, move on to the next phase.
You win. All this is that drunkard Igor's fault. I rid my own county of its. But then, my most promising. Don't look at me like that. I'm not a monster. Don't expect me to just give it to you with no guarantees.
Are you going to let this man live after what he just told you? Very well. I trust your judgment. You trusted us. We'll wait for you at the King's Knights camp. If that man was lying, I want to. We'll wait for you at the King's Knights.
So, the next step here is to go all the way down to that camp. I think the main camp. And there you're going to have to confront everybody and, of course, expose this count or whatever he is. And then he will give you as far as what the solution is in order to track down the OG werewolf. Because that's the one that you have to defeat to finish it all off.
What's going on, mercenaries? Why on earth is the Count trap? What did you say? He
So, even though, yes, I am the one behind this scourge, I can also be the one to heal it. The Count is lying. He must take us for fools. I've just read his notes, Captain, and his remedy is anything but complete. I'm
growing weary of your secrets and lies, Hosbert.
That ingredient's not easy to obtain. It's the heart of the original lycanthrope. My tests are. But I don't know where he's hiding. He must be in Rigel.
All right, I've heard enough. If all we have to do to stop the scourge of lycanthropy and win whoever amassed the lycanthrope first, in my boundless generosity, and also.
What? Do you suppose the reason my soldiers were unable when Igor first brought him to me? Lastly, there's his scent. Once your suspicions have settled on one of Regal's residents, simply point him out to me. I'll observe him discreetly and let you know if he's my test subject.
Now, in order to find this scent, you want to go back to the main city, through the graveyard, to the top of the castle, walk out of the castle, through the front door, and just follow this brown trail, this scent. And that's going to take you to that third little city with all the grumpy people. And right here. And the guy that you want to talk to, even though you talk to all of them, the only one that you have to really talk to is the blacksmith. And as you can see, he now has an order about himself.
Go away.
So that's the one that you're going to have to fight now with all the city. Now, once you talk to him, then all you have to do is talk to the Count.
Captain Oswald.
And he will definitely say that's him. So now you're going to have to languish around here waiting for the knights to arrive. I don't know, it's kind of silly. I just wish they could just show up right away. Otherwise, you just walk around there for a bit until it announces that they have now arrived, so you can do the final part.
My men are all here. I hope for your sake and the Count.
And here we have it. The final battle for the main quest, which is a bunch of werewolf and this bigger werewolf that do not really feel like it's an elite in that sense. So they are a bunch of elite, and I'm gonna showcase the actual elite that's part of this DLC. He's up in the corner in a castle with some special mechanics. But this guy, the first time I fought him, I had to kill off all the normal werewolves in order to really get him, because it got slippery at some point where he was just jumping away from all the main combat after he took grievous amount of damage. But as it turned out, on this second time that I did it with this adaptive leveling, it was, I wouldn't say easier, it was just quicker. I got him down real quick, as you can see with my Thaumaturg, and then it was pretty much over before, you know, the second turn. So it was a little bit of an anticlimactic situation with that guy. Do I wish it felt more like an elite? Yeah, maybe. As you can see, he reacts a lot more often than, say, the other ones. But, you know, he jumped on one of my really well-armored guys, so that didn't really help him that much. Also, slight disappointment is that you don't really get anything special from him. So, again, it doesn't feel like an elite battle. It's just a battle against a beefier werewolf. Whereas pretty much all the elite battles that you fight in other cases, they can take on a whole group of your guys. Now the best way to take down Big Baddie here is to some bravery pugilist kidney punches. And that really is it. Now, unlike the other werewolf packs, this one ends when you end the bad guy, the main boss dude. It's not going to be one of those where you have to destroy all of them.
May Saint Elior bear witness to our triumph. You've completed your mission, mercenaries. When we first met, I wasn't so sure it was possible. And to think,
and of course, I had to kill a couple of his knights, and he doesn't seem to care. So, again, there is not much of a moral system in this game. And there you have it. That is the main quest till its very end, to the very bad guy. Now, of course, there are more content to unlock. Of course, you could do all of that content before you get to the main one, which is unlocking all the features from the actual lab table. I didn't. I did that afterwards because, you know, I just wanted to showcase as quickly as I possibly could this entire DLC. And if you saw from the first episode, which actually was recorded afterwards, I know, time loop and all that, that one had a showcase of pretty much anything that you can unlock. And that's it. Now, there is one more quest that I would like to show you. That's the elite guy. So that is the one that has a special spear. So it's actually not a sensor. That's from the tomb, and that's from that other battle that I showcased.
I wouldn't touch that if I were you. Please excuse my sentimental side, mercenaries. So now that this little misunderstanding has been cleared up,
And as you can see, anytime you start killing rats, they just spawn in. And yeah, his spear has a lot of that toxic miasma, so there's gonna be a ton of that poison everywhere. Now, this guy happened to be able to swing that main attack twice, so that can do pretty good damage. And unfortunately, as you can see here, since there are so many rats there are gonna be plenty of them doing a lot of damage, and they generally get to attack before you. So you might get in the first swing, you're not gonna knock that guy down in one hit, and then you're just gonna have to move in with as many as possible. Just tolerate the pain of a lot of toxic miasma and stuff, and focus on getting it down. I love that feature. When you just tell them to all to, you know, gather up so you can start swinging down. That guy is pretty beastly when it comes to damage. I know all those plague rats, man. Even with the tiny amount of damage they do, well, he can do pretty decent damage. That guy just happened to have a chance to smack back in the case that he takes a hit. So now they're surrounding because they want to get you out of there. And that's when you bring in a Thaumaturg, just for the fun of it. Now, I don't think this one was built as the one that I later on unlocked, which is where you have the brave skill and just can continue massacring them. That makes makes those battles pretty easy. This one is just a standard fear with a grenade, and of course the general purge. Ah, plague rats, man. And as you can see, it looks like all that plague stuff also seems to regenerate him. Very annoying. Yeah, and these are the big hitters. Time to bring in the captain for all the good stuff. Good old kick to the groin and a smack to the face, and it is done. Luckily enough, you don't have to go on and destroy all the plague rats. It's pretty much over after that. And that is... I mean, it's no choice to have a spear as a legendary. I do believe there are plenty of spears, but it's as good as any. And it's themed with all that toxic stuff. And it works. I don't actually use it right now because I do believe I have whatever fits perfectly with my guys, but I can probably think of it. The problem I have is, of course, the toxic miasma stuff. It have a tendency of poisoning you too. So, not necessarily a fan of that. But here we have it. This is the full walkthrough of the DLC itself, except for the tomb. And here you can find a little bit more about the backstory of the guy itself that got deceased. And kind of weird. Now, my next thing that I'm working on right now is Star Rapture. I did play the original demo. And I have been playing quite a lot. Pretty much unlocked everything of the map itself up until the next patch that they're going to release. So I'm going to compile a bunch of videos of that. I'm also working on like a story mode for Wartales that I'm going to work on. And as I always say, until we meet again. And this has been a weird year of 2025 and a weird start on this one. Adieu.